Hey guys, it's been a while since we've looked at strong players game, and I'm in the mood. So let's do it. This is from, I don't know, let's say 20 years, something like that. Breakfast, we all know him. Um, I think he's 3 or 4 dan now, professional. Back then he was 1 dan professional against Tartrate, another famous strong player. Okay. Now this is before AI. So a lot of the old style is in here. This, for instance, would be considered not best today. The idea is when black plays the corner, now we do the Tawari. We change the order of the stones. Black to play is like a perfect spot, right? Because his 2 stone wall likes going in this direction. White agrees and says, I'm going to come in there and stop you. White A and B used to be considered, very few would play it because black's more prepared to pinch. And the pinch can be difficult when there's extra black stones. Nowadays, it's fine. But back then, we'd pull back one to give ourselves a little more room when we get pinched. The pinch happens, and white's job is to now settle, but let's check it out. There's an area 1 and there's an area 2. There's the right side corner and the bottom black area. Let's say, for example, white says, great, I lived right where I wanted to live. And it's not small. I mean, really made easy, comfortable life. But black got a great wall with the extension in Sente. White's going to be feeling like I gave black too much. Okay, so when we think about settling, it's not necessarily that stone. White's looking for a comfortable settle where black doesn't get too much. Now, in this game, that ends up being in area 2, and we know it's comfortable because black has to worry about the A stone when white settles in area 2. Okay, now this is being flexible, which Q players have a really hard time thinking. I have a hard time thinking about it. I see that white stone, I want that white stone to survive. That's my stone. It's like, well, how do I do that? Oh man, it's so hard. So anyway, I think this sequence coming up is a really good teacher. Good coffee. Contact to settle. Okay. Also asks black the question, what are you going to do? Black goes for the cut. White says, okay. Black kills the corner and kills the right. We've talked about this before, but let's look at it here. The variations here are will always be, have always been far beyond my capability to understand. Well, actually, it starts here. That's the crosscut. Now, you've heard me do this before, but maybe someone hasn't. There's 4 black moves on the right, all of which are reasonable, depending on what you want to do. On the other side, there's 4 black plays, all of which are fine, depending on what you want to do. And each one of those black moves gives at least that many possible white moves to follow. I could never read out all, how many moves would that be? 10,000. I have no idea. Someone could do the math. That's a lot of variations. Which is why it confused me up to 5 dan. And I realized, well, I'll never be, because I couldn't read out up to 5 dan. No one believes me, but it's true. And I knew I couldn't get to 6 dan without reading, so I learned how to read. And it had a lot to do with choosing a path. Once you understand the path you want, then you only have to read out 1 or 2, and it doesn't have to be a long read. So anyway, once black is here, there's a lot of possibilities here, but we'll just follow the game, or else we'd be here all day. And we see black. I mean, I don't think white could live in the corner. Just for fun, we'll look at that. Hey, white's alive in the corner. And black gets everything else. Is way too much for black. So white takes the outside. Forcing move. Now, this move is sente to kill the corner, which would be great. But if we could get this or a move like it in sente, then we might be able to kill this way. So the tool to use is ask another question. Are you going to let me bully that stone? Black says, yeah, I do not want you coming down here. I don't want to start a fight where you get to come down here in sente and kill the corner. So I'll let you have A as long as I can mess with the B group. So there's all this transaction going on all the time. I want more. No, you can't take it. You take it over there. No, that's not enough for me. Back and forth, you know. And of course, white's main job is to get a comfortable group the biggest way possible. Okay. If white plays first now, white kills the bottom, right? Okay. Black to play. He has 3 liberties. White has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So white wins. So black needs to do something about that. One would think S2, but first, you know, we can't do this first. If he goes for the kill, I kill that stone. Okay, so black is messing, totally messing with white's shape. I mean, pardon me, but, oh, white's shape is now perfect. Well, black says, no way, I'll mess with your shape. And then go back and take care of the corner. And then white here. Few players say, what? Say what? Why would we play there? I remember thinking, what? How? You know, as a Q player, go, what? I have no concept. And second, there we are. And the idea is there's forcing moves here to not only mess with the A stone, but to get close to the B cut. So white's job isn't to attack that black stone. but to finish his shape. And this white move, okay, black A doesn't work, black B doesn't work, black C is no longer powerful. So this white move keeps white strong. Moment, more coffee. White comes in. Now, this is something I wouldn't do. To me, this is a very difficult idea. What would I do? I would love to take my points and have black settle. Let's put it here. Black is settled on the bottom. I don't mind, because black's going to be fine regardless. I got my corner, and and I have Sente. Why wouldn't I play this way? So why the heck is white playing this? Well, this is the problem with strong player games. It's just complex. Okay. Let's start with white is stating my entire B group is fine. You can't counterattack me. You can't go, oh, I'm going to attack you so I get back to the B group. No, I've taken care of the B group. Your A stone will not settle easily. You can try if you want. I'm just letting you know right now. You will not settle easily. Your best choice is to give it up. You go live in the corner like a good little boy, and I'll take the entire bottom area. Nice and big, and you get the corner. So that's what I see White saying here. If the pro 9-down walked in the room, would he say, what are you, an idiot? Or would he say, ooh, whoever's commenting this game is very strong? I don't know what he'd say, but this is my take on it. That brought a memory back. um, when I started teaching Go, I stopped playing, so I didn't play competitive game for 10 years. And I finally decided, okay, I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to start getting back to it by going to Jujo's annual tournament. And I looked at the strong player games and recorded half a dozen of them. And I said, and I looked going, to me, this is all horrible. Therefore, I don't know how to play Go. So I went to Jujo and I'm like, you have to show me how to play Go because I don't get any of this. To me, it's all wrong. I showed them the game. She says, oh, you're right. The moves you would play are the right ones. The ones they play are the wrong ones. And I'm like, then what makes them 7-done? He says, well, they fight really good. Now, they've never had lessons, so they don't know how to play correctly, but they fight really well. Ever since he said that, it's like from that moment on, I've trusted my fundamentals. It made me feel really good. As a matter of fact, in other areas of my life, I'm the kind of guy, fundamentals, that's me, just the basic, where do I put my feet? That's what I depend on. So in other areas, I trust my fundamentals, and I call them my Jujo. I shouldn't tell anyone this. You guys are the first ones to know. So I'm like, yes, my Jujo. This is the thing I can trust in this field. Okay. So black's not having it, right? Says, nah, I really want to use this A stone. And besides, this A stone has a little bit of kick in it. If you're not careful, I will get B in Sente. I will get C in Sente. You have to be careful. There's something there. And so they're struggling for, how do I get the most out of my stones? And white just submits, as it were, because notice black is committed to this group, but he has no eyes and no base. So they're both getting what they want here. Okay, how do we capture the A stone? Cute players are going to capture the big way, Atari. Black cannot live. This is true, but black can get this move for free. And this move is paramount. Ooh, big word. Paramount in black's health. So a strong player will always Atari on this side. No Aji. No leftover taste. I love Aji, the term. It's fun to say, Aji. And everyone knows literal translation is taste. It's just a taste. It's not, you're not getting a mouthful. You're not actually eating anything. It's just it's something here that bothers me a little bit. Okay, no Aji. And black comes up. And black has how many eyes? 0. Okay. White gets out. 4th line to keep the pressure up because black is not healthy here. So white's plan is working. White got a little extra points on the A group. That's not bad. And he got the left, and he got a black group to attack. So way back over here, white's thinking, okay, I want a healthy group somewhere in this area. And black's going to get a lot out of it because black's the prepared one. But over here, white's the prepared one, and white's getting more points. And black is going to be working on, how do I get a group here? And again, no eyes, no base. Okay, so this happens all the time. Black says there's now Aji there. Things like the turn. Black's reaching out to the rest of the board. Black's starting to use his N3 stone. There's cuts available. There's stuff to do here. White, of course, knows this. Breaks it. In my mind, this has the flavor of, one would recognize this as a professional move. If you ask questions like, how many points does it create? I don't know. Let's say 3. Insignificant, not even worth talking about. Does it kill the A stone? No, the A stone is already dead. Okay. What the heck is it? Does it stop black from making points? Well, not really. Black might be able to make a few. So it's like it doesn't do anything except stops black from reaching out to the board and keeps black generally weak. So it's one of these very small moves that does great things. I remember as 5-dan learning that, and I was amazed. Oh my God, this move does absolutely nothing except that it does everything. Oh, I could show you moves. Let's spend all day looking at all these great moves. Oh, how many times I've done that? Thousands. Spend all day looking at moves. Okay, so white says, yeah, we're done. White says, yeah, I could take the corner, but if black passes, I don't have a next move. I don't have an attack here. He's got a nice strong position. We may not have talked about this black move. That's pretty necessary because now white's turn is like really getting to be a bother. So black comes out and stops that. White says, okay, I agree. You're okay now. Time to play away. Now, again, here's black saying, I don't want you settling comfortably, and I want a big right side. Stuff to notice here. A common exchange moment, more coffee. I felt the coffee desire coming, so I'll satisfy it. The pour over. I love it. Freshly ground beans. Mm. Okay, let's look at something another way. We'll use old style here. Black's fine everywhere. Black took more of the corner up top. Black has Sente. What's the problem? Well, there's no problem. But if we can take the whole right side, if we can make white uncomfortable, so it's hard for him to work, again, like the bottom left, this is the more common way. Let's have a look. I'm using old style here. Oops. Look at the right side. I can't just come on in. That's a pretty tight black area and quite large. So white says, yeah, I don't think so. This contact play is a very important tool. I bugged Mr. Yang constantly in order to learn about this move. You know, the proverb tells us, don't contact weak stones, but do contact strong stones. Well, don't you think A's is a weak stone? I mean, it's far from home. It's all alone, right? I used to ask these questions. I'm the only person who's frustrated professional Go teachers because I won't let go. I'll ask that same question. I'll spend 10 minutes. What do you mean by that? In what way is it strong? In what way is it weak? I want to know so that in my next 100,000 games, I know whether to contact A or not. Now, that particular question ended for me when one day he says, well, you know, it's really hard for us professionals to know too. I mean, it's very difficult. Oh, this question doesn't have an answer. So that allowed me to come to my own conclusion. And now, I feel very comfortable when to contact, when not to contact. I just, on an emotional level, I may not be correct, but I'm like, oh, I got that one nailed. I know that one. Okay, so I would contact here without any question at all. There we go. Mostly because B is weak. I am under attack. I am struggling for life. I will never have the opportunity to come into area 1. Therefore, A is strong because I can't hurt it. Hurting it means coming into area 1. I can't do that. My B stone's weak. Therefore, A is strong. I will contact A. Force him to take the area which he has to take. Pull back. Yep. Out. There's so many great variations here. Boom, boom, boom. Well, it goes using up that space. White says, go ahead and cut me. I'm going to cut you too. Here, by far the more common idea, fix with A or fix with B and maybe fix with C. Some fix and, hey, I settled my group. That's what I decided to do. This guy This is really pushing things. This is tartrate, and tartrate is really, really strong. More coffee. Let's start with the picture he's trying to create. Ooh, my center. I'm doing great things in the center. I don't care what you get in the corner. This is well worth it for me. Not only have I totally settled my weak group, but I'm doing great things in the center too. On top of which, I can easily imagine getting back to this weak black group, especially if I'm prepared in the center. Okay, so that's me reading his mind, right? That's the picture I see White stating. Well, what about all the weaknesses left behind? Well, let's just look at them for fun here. Now, we're not looking at what moves would they now play. No, we're looking at the basic artwork, right? What's the basic sketch? Sorry, connect. And I'm going to do it this way, which gives us a better understanding. Okay. Oh, black got all the corner. Black really increased. And white's going, yeah, but look at the top area, look at the center. So this is the fight we're having. Black says no. Oh, white comes out very nicely. And black plays away. Interesting play away. Black just stated, I'm fine. And I have points. And if you go for the surround, a number of things happen. You got lots of cuts. So I'm not concerned about your overall position because it's not strong. If it was strong, I would stay there and do something about it. But it's not that great. And it's not like you can kill my corner or anything. So I'm going to let you surround me because the points may look good, but your overall position is not. Now, if I didn't have anything else to do, might play something like this. And, I'm taking more points, getting into the top right, upper left, I mean. But there is something else to do. And that is your A group never got a base. The 3-3 is wide open. And with one move, I put you behind enemy lines without a base as I play in a big area on the left. Okay. So black C, very meaningful big move. White D, a very big meaningful move. There's a lot of stuff going on this board. And they're making decisions what they think is best. Now you find this all the time in super strong play is the two players disagree. I don't care that you think that. I'm going to go do what I think is best. Well, I think you're wrong about that. I mean, I got to tell another story. In my Go teaching, I used to take one student, take the money, that income, and apply it to taking lessons for me to take lessons from a professional. So in effect, I would get free lessons. I loved that. Just go ahead and take lessons. Don't worry about the money because someone else is giving me that money. I loved that. And then when I was real busy in Go, I would take two students. And Take 2 lessons a week, one from Mr. Yang, one from Feng Yun. She's second ever woman professional, 9 dan. And I would ask them the same questions. Now, they would disagree regularly. They didn't know what the other one was saying. I would never bring it up. Well, Mr. Yang says, no, I would never do that. And 1 or 2 times they disagreed in the biggest way, meaning, oh, this is far too slow versus this is absolutely necessary. Man, to me, that was big information that professionals honestly do not know. They're just taking their personal best guess. White gets out, black settles. Man, I just couldn't do that. I play at A so fast to settle my group. But then I get a nice corner, but he gets the entire left. Yeah, I think I would change my mind now. Settle, force black to settle, attack. Okay, remember a minute ago I said, man, I would take that corner? Obviously, black thinks it's important too. So much so that when white attacks the A group, which as white attacks, one of the main ideas for white is I'm getting in area 1. I like attacking black because I'm getting the corner. So black is so many things to think about here. How's my A group? Apparently, black thinks his A group is just fine for now. Now, let's consider some other things he might be thinking. Dang, I wish I could defend my A group. I'm really going to suffer there. But I can't, because when white takes this corner, it's going to be too big. I cannot let him have that many points. So I've got to suffer at my A group. That may well be what he's saying here in his mind. I don't know. It's another reason I would take lessons from professionals is, what are you thinking here? I love hearing what they're thinking. I asked Feng Yun once, professional and on. I said, when you play a game, a tournament game, are you thinking, well, I'm supposed to win half my games and lose half my games? Or are you expecting to win all your games? And she stated without hesitation, oh, I expect to win all my games. I hate losing. Absolutely hate it. I got such a kick out of that. Black lives in the corner. Oh, are you seeing this? Are you seeing the pain of the A group? It just lost any hope of getting an eye. And then you look at the B group, which is also weak. I could never do this. Never. Now, there are other things at play. For instance, if black cuts here, which has some cente value, white's group on the left is completely eyeless. So there are other things, but it's getting difficult. White plays here, which stops the cut. Okay, no cut. Boom. Ooh, did you check that out? Black can connect these. Nice. Says no, let me get a little bit of Aji in. It's at least cente. And then I'll know, let's say, for instance, white does it this way, then this move is cente, right? Because an Atari kill. Oh, well, this is good information. And if white says no, well, then all of a sudden moves like this start having extra meaning. This is a wonderful probe by black. White says, no way. Oh, Oh, you see the Aji here? A means, oh, then I'll play B and start using up those liberties. That's going to help my B group. This is really high-level stuff. Black can play here, fix all the cuts. Great. That's what he's doing. He's saying, I'm going to play in that area and fix enough of the cuts in enough of a way to be satisfied and do more in the center. White says, you should have played that other one. This doesn't actually fix. And they have their fight. And black plays away. We've been at this a little while. Let's go ahead and make this our last move, because we'd be here another hour easily, right? Going through, oh man, there's so much to look at. I love reviewing strong players' games. Okay. What has black accomplished? Well, his A and B groups have connected up with good points. Not bad points. More than, 2 or 3 significant structure points. Very satisfied. Okay. White groups are all fine. So then what about my A group? Well, what do you mean your A group? A and B are 2 different groups. As a matter of fact, A, B, and C are different. There are 6 separate entities here, none of which are necessarily connected. Let's imagine connecting the most obvious one. What's black doing? If he survives, I don't know, these black stones are no longer meaning anything. They're not attacking anyone. They're not growing points. And if it's unattractive to save them. As a matter of fact, if white takes them, it's silly because they're basically whites now. So taking what you already have is silly. So we want white to invest a move here because we've already given them up. Please take what I've given you. It's a waste of white's time. So what black is doing is saying this entire entity is light. I can give some of it up, this, that, the other. I can give whatever I want up. As a matter of fact, I may end up giving everything up. I don't know. I mean, likely my AF will become a real group in the center, and you get everything else. That's the most probable, but I'm willing to talk about that too. Therefore, I'll play away into the next big area and continue the game. And as the game continues, this center area will define itself, and I'll know how I want to handle it. High level stuff. Hopefully it meant something and was helpful, and we will catch you all later. Thanks, guys.